Hello and
Hey,
good evening, and we don't have you on camera.
I know, right?
Oops, let's go that way.
Yeah, let's go this
There
way.
you
There we
are. Okay,
go.
there you go. All right, good evening, everyone, and
Mm.
welcome to the
The
truth
truth behind
behind the
the truth.
truth. Man. What a Saturday was it? Saturday? Yeah, what a Saturday. What a
Yes,
Saturday. I don't know if you guys joined us last week, but man, was that
it was a lot.
not a great show. I
Yes,
mean,
it
a
was.
great show last week. So powerful and everything. If you did not get a chance to see that show, go back and check us out on YouTube. Right.
Please do.
YouTube, and now we're on Instagram and YouTube and Facebook, to get
Hmm.
immediate response to that. We'd love to do it. One of our biggest viewed shows in a while. So
Yes.
hopefully this one will be just as big. All right. We need you guys to be a part of that. All right. But it was a great show. The lovely
Coco.
producer, actor, comedian Coco Brown, and my dear
Mhm.
brilliant brother, Jay Somerville. All right. But yeah, it was a really good show. And thank you guys for taking the time to tune in and watch it and all that good stuff.
Yes.
So tonight, hopefully, will be just as provocative for you. All right. May not be quite as
Yes.
argumentative, but it will be just as provocative for you in terms of conversation pieces. All right.
Yes.
How are you, dear?
I'm okay. How about yourself?
I'm doing well. Trying to get us shared out here on Facebook like we're supposed to every
Oh,
week.
yeah,
So
yeah,
if I'm
yeah,
looking
yeah.
down, guys, that's why I'm looking down.
Well,
Um,
how you doing, Darnell?
I'm doing all right. The weeks are running into each other, but I'm doing well.
That's
excellent,
good.
excellent.
Charles.
As they, I'm multitasking, trying to do the crawlers and everything else. But I'm doing good, pretty good. Let me just say this about how I feel today. Today is one of those days when I'm a little disappointed in the way our country rolls because we all survive off of each other, and we're not even depending on each other or taking care of each other as we should be. There's too much going on, too much divisiveness, too much selfishness, too much lack of empathy to what our causes are in this country. And everybody here, no matter who you are, where you are economically, religiously, sexuality, we have to depend on each other. And right now, we're not coming together as we need to be at all.
True. So true.
And you know where that all stems from? The Congress.
Oh man.
To be honest with you, as much as we like to pinpoint president, whoever it might be, or vice president, whoever it might be, or it's just the fact that at the end of the day, why is it that the average American likes to skip over that raggedy Congress?
I don't know. It's easier to point.
I don't get it. It's like every now and then if we have like a political talk, I don't even like to debate because some of us don't know the art of debate. We just like to talk over each other, and that is not debating. But the thing about it is, I always go back to the fact that a lot of these people don't understand that the Congress is the root of all of our issues right now. I don't care who the president is; it's that damn Congress.
Yeah. Well, too many of us argue about where the responsibility lies, and I'm a firm believer in because there's no civics in our schools. Nobody understands how this stuff works.
They don't.
There's no understand how a bill works, how the purse strings are held, how the laws are made, and we're too busy. When we say vote up and down blue, it's a reason behind that. It's because I'm one of those people. I voted Republican before. I'm not a stern part. I'm an independent. Let's put that out there right now. I'm an independent. I believe that I vote in my interest. So if you're going to take care of my neighborhood or do what's right for me, I'm going to vote for you. I don't care what your party is. I look at what your policy and what your ambitions are toward my community. And a lot of people stick with, I'm going to do this just because they this and just because they black and just, no, you got to do what's right for me. And if you can't do what's right for me, why am I voting for you? And the only person we don't vote for directly is the president. But we need to get rid of the Electoral College and push that crap to the side. But everything else is local. Your sheriff, your judges, your mayor, your governor, your state representatives, all that is local. So if you're only voting for the president and you're mad because you can't pick who that is, what about the rest of the stuff that actually relates to what you're doing, your livelihood? If you tell me you don't vote politics, you don't understand because politics takes care of your life. seatbelts,
It does.
red lights,
Yes, it does.
stealing, healthcare. Everything is politics. Don't tell me that stuff, man. That disappoints me when people say, "Well, I'm not into politics." Yes, you are, because everything you do revolves around politics.
Absolutely. Well, it goes. And thank you for that, Charles.
Yeah,
you reiterated my conversation
Yeah.
I had a few minutes ago. It's like we've gotten to a place where we just have to pounce on some issue.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And because I'm pouncing on this issue, that I've got to find everybody to pounce on it with me. Okay, it's where we are, the state of this election, and then that leads to divisiveness. You know,
divisiveness.
in and of itself, just like I was having a conversation with our fellow, followers, with my brother on the way, and after I explained, different perspectives, like, oh, okay, I see. It's not that here with me. I can speak for me, and maybe collectively, you guys. Yes, I am voting. I'm putting it out there. Yes, I'm voting for Kamala Harris. All right. At the end of the day, I will not vote for Donald Trump, not because of the reasons why everybody else is on board. Okay, because I have my own ideas. Now, I'm gonna be honest. I didn't trust Kamala in 2019. Was it 2019? We had last, but like 2019, 2018. Okay, because of the things that she would have been known for doing to the African American people in the state of California.
Yeah.
There were some other things, but at the end of the day, you cannot keep a person in the same position or your thought pattern, because they grow just like anybody else has the opportunity to grow. There are points that I will keep to myself that I may see or may not see right now. Okay, at the end of the day, because I don't think that that's something that I should be spewing out over the airways, nor should be anybody else, at that point, because we all have hidden things that we may feel and not feel, but we're making a decision based on what we feel is going to be better and hopefully getting our situation better. Now, on that same token, to your point, Charles, and then I'll shut up, with Donald Trump, I was saying this to my brother from Mexico. It's not that Donald Trump may or may not be a good candidate. Okay, let's just put it this way. All right, may or may not be. It's the consistent rhetoric, okay, that is coming from him. Okay, today. All I'm saying, dude, you would probably be doing a lot better with everybody if you would stick to policy. Let's just that. Let's talk about how you're going to unify around the policies that benefit America. Not the Proud Boys.
But he only has a concept of a
Right,
plan,
know,
so
exactly.
there is no plan.
Exactly.
I'm thinking of it. I'm thinking about it.
It has no concept.
Why can't we get away with that type of excuse on our jobs or wherever we're at? Like, what happened to your paper? What happened to your bill? Why are you not paying? Well, I just had a concept of paying my bill. It's just the fact that why can somebody like that can get away with that type of excuse when it is so important to have a plan when you need something of that. That's my thing. Go ahead, Darnell. Go ahead.
That was good. Go ahead. So he do have a plan. His plan is this. His plan is to turn around and keep on spewing the bullshit to the people that follow him. And his other plan is to just stay out of jail. That's it. That's all. That's his plan. His plan has, that's the thing. His plan is never, and that's why I tell people, even if you had a thought and a consideration of even voting for him back then and to now, I think I tell people, what's in the beginning is always in the end. That's something that I live by.
Right.
Well, his beginning was his last term. He was a shit show in his last term. What makes you think anything is going to be different now? And you said grow. People grow and they change. Yes, people grow and they change, but some people grow and change for the worse, and he's one of those.
Right. And collectively, and understanding your point about that. Now, to those that may not necessarily agree with your particular perspective, rather than jumping on your opinion, you know what I'm saying? Maybe you should step back and see why Darnell has this opinion. See what I'm saying? Maybe what is it, the identifiable piece here that makes Darnell feel the way that he is? Not that he's being, a black racist or whatever, and at the end of the day, maybe the fact finding that he needs to see out of this candidate is not there. Okay, so it's fine and well if it's not there, but to pounce on Darnell's opinion, because he's, that he's not on board with that, that's wrong. That's where it becomes wrong. That's where it becomes very disrespectful of who this person as number one, as a human being, not a political persuasion. At the end of the day, if he took off his Democratic hat and put on a blue hat, should be part of blue, but a pink hat, You know, he just be a Democrat with a pink hat on or whatever. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day. So what we've got to work on as a country is to stop, like you said, Charles, this I get it's a tongue driver for me. This in terms of the political arena.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But go ahead. I know you got a point.
Well, it's just all sport at the end of the day. At the end of the day, it's pure sport. But I always tend to think that one part of the aisle likes to play it too nice. And that's one thing I have against the Democrats is that they play too nice in a situation where somebody's playing dirty. Like the fact that I remember that one part during the debate where he was calling her father a bad professor. He was a bad professor as well as a Marxist. And in my spirit, I kept saying to her, girl, could you at least say something about his mama? I'm like, say something that's gonna hit him underneath the damn belt. Just say something to the point that, you know, well, at least my mama didn't DJ for the ice cream truck. At least for me. For me. Just do that for me. But it's just
Dallas, I think the factor, see, it's one of those things where I'm with you on that. I feel like she should be able to, she should go there with him at some point. But then you have to think about the factor of now everyone knows him for his deeds. Everyone knows him for his works. They know what he's all about. And now she do it, or whatever the case may be. Now you say that she's not a black woman. A lot of them say it, but then once she do it, now she's going to turn into the angry black woman. You have to think that she's playing a political game. She's good at this. That's what she do.
Keeping her cool, basically.
Right, you know, but you know, and that's fun. Unfortunately, that's another conversation, you know. But that persuasion that, unfortunately, I'm gonna say women of color, just to put it on that pinpointed as the black woman having it, but it's unfortunate that stigma reigns over African American women. You know, and I mean,
I'm surprised he even saying that. Like,
you know, I mean, it's unfortunate. I mean, that's a huge debate right there.
Behind the
truth behind the truth. Okay,
you said that.
I saw Charles's eyebrows go up.
I'm shocked.
It's the contradiction for me. It's the contradiction. Think about it. Donald Trump he's been convicted of felonies.
Right, exactly.
Obama talked to Reverend Wright, and they wanted to crucify him for talking to Reverend Wright. And Reverend Wright didn't say not a bad thing or anything wrong about, you know, America's roosters were coming, chickens were coming home to roost, because America's done so much devilment throughout the world. They were getting their payback. So you can't be mad because it's coming back on you. So he had to disown Reverend Wright for something that wasn't even wrong. But yet Trump can hang out with Putin. He can hang out with racists. He can hang out with doggone white nationalists, but it's not a problem. It's the contradiction that bothers me. I can go in there right now and run for office, but because as most black men, I got paperwork on me. If I walk out there, they're going to talk about it. But he's sexually assaulted people and been convicted. He's stolen. He's frauded, and nobody. It's like it's okay. He's white. That's all that matters. He's white. How do you say because he done it?
Let me say this from a little political insider, okay? If they like what you're saying, they know how to make paperwork go away.
Yeah, but if it's white, it's right.
Yeah, but no, seriously,
seriously,
if the either party, and this is an insight, okay, a little insight. You know, we got insight, okay. If either party likes what you say, and then you can be marketed if you're going to go in that arena, the paperwork can go away. You can go.
The problem is, like you said about Democrats.
I'm gonna put this little funny spin on that you say point. So you can go from a 200 credit score to a 950 in an hour.
Yeah, but like you said about Democrats will crucify their own to prove they're on their side of right. Republicans would be like, it's just locker room talk. He's not really like that. But Democrats would be like, put him up, hang him up by his toenails, and tickle him with a feather until he tells what's supposed to happen. They will crucify their own just to show that they're on the side of righteousness. But the Republicans will not do that. They're like a cult. They're like, it's like the days of what do you call it? The Pilgrims. If you're a witch and I throw you in a river and you swim, you're a witch. But if you drown and die, then you wasn't a witch. But if I burn you and you don't burn, you're a witch. But if you burn and die, you're not a witch. You're doomed either way you go. You're not. It's a no-win situation. So it's the same way with politics today. If I speak up and say my part, like what's his name, Michael Eric Dyson, it was saying about the young lady who said he was flirting with her because he said, you're a beautiful woman, you're intelligent. Because I compliment you now, I'm flirting with you, but Trump said I grabbed you by the kitty,
and
we're okay.
And see, I hate to say this, Charles, but I'm surprised that he even went that far with that type of scenario, with that type of situation, because the woman was deadpan against his stance on everything. Now, why are you so busy flirting with the enemy? No. You are busy. See, he put himself in that dog do. I hate to say it like that, but he did, because that should have been something that I'm not going to do all of that, and knowing how you operate. So, that was stupid. That was really stupid for him to have put himself in that situation. So, yeah, I hate to say it, but he was dumb for that one. He was really dumb for that.
I have my opinion about that Dyson, but maybe we'll get in that.
I mean, the guy is he's very intelligent. And he speaks great in knowledge, and he's very informative in what he speaks, especially in the hip hop realm.
Right.
But the thing about it was, when I read that, I was like, dude, you don't flirt with the enemy. You got to dance around, the situation, because that woman was really looking for a moment.
Right. But like most liberals, we try to be gracious. We try to be good. We try to find a common point of consensus. But when the Republicans, they don't give a damn if you like them, don't like them. They're going to say what they say, and that's how it rolls. But Democrats are always trying to hold the high road, trying to be so righteous that, we're going to make sure that we're okay. And it doesn't work. We'll crucify I ain't going to say we, because I'm an independent, but they'll crucify their own in order to make sure that they look good. When Republicans say, well, you rape somebody? Oh, that's just boys play. Let's keep it moving.
Yeah. I mean, so true. I mean, we talked about a lot in that little circle right there.
Yes, we did.
We'll dissect that a little bit. I know we got a break coming up. Dissect that a little bit more.
We're gonna talk about Puff Daddy, P Diddy when we come back.
No, let's finish that first.
We can't stop. I told you it won't stop.
It's connected.
Our show tonight is supposed to be about sexuality in politics.
Just sex in general, to be honest with sex and power. Sex and power, basically.
Right.
In other words, coochie grabbing.
That too.
In politics.
See, there you go.
All right, guys, we'll be right back after the break. Tell a friend while we're on break that to tune into Truth Behind Truth, and we want to know your comments. Okay, so submit your comments, and if you're on Facebook, put it there on the Truth on the Authentic Truth side. You can put them right in. If not, send an email. We'll get it, or go to my page on Facebook, or go to YouTube. Put your comments in. We want to hear about you. So, all right, we'll be right back in just a minute. All right, and we are back, guys. Thank you so much for tuning into the Truth Behind the Truth tonight. Want to remind you, we didn't remind you last week. We're reminding you in season 5 now. The mugs are still available. All right, so get your mug. If you didn't get one last season, get one this season. All right, please support us with your mug. 5 likes, 5 shares, over the airways. It could be whatever those platforms that you enjoy us on, YouTube, Facebook, soon to be Instagram when we get those things together with Instagram, and definitely on X as well. All right.
All right.
And we would like your contributions too. We ain't afraid of money. We're not afraid of money.
Not the kind that folds, but the one that
it
doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
You messed up Reverend Ike. You messed up Reverend Ike. Don't do that. We like to type that folks, not jingles. That's what we're talking about.
But any of it's gonna come off your credit or debit card. So at the end of the day, neither one of them gonna fold the jingles. So we are right with that. But anyway, let's go and dig back in where we were, and then we're gonna move on to Puff Daddy. So was it your point, Charles? I think we left on about how the Dem versus the Repubs, you
The
know,
righteousness.
the
Yeah.
righteousness, you know,
Yeah.
with in that ranks of that, you know, I can think I can speak for us collectively, Bo. I think that we could probably consider ourselves independents as well. You know, at times, you know, that I feel like there's certain things that are coming out of the Republican Party that are very beneficial because I will be voting Democrat this particular time around, but I don't agree with everything Democrats are doing.
Mhm.
You know, at the end of the day, I don't. You know, just like I don't agree with everything Donald Trump. I'm sorry, the Republican Party. The Republican Party is
Same
doing.
thing. Same thing.
Hey, but what I will say is this: it's too much of this. I want it my way versus to what's going to be able to propel people forward as a country forward. Okay, have these people that this news media is doing. Most of these people don't care about what's going on in a woman's body. At the end of the day, it's her choice. It is her husband's choice. It's her partner's choice. Let's get off of that, people, because you know what? At the end of the day, I have conversations with people all the time. Let's just, I know I'm jumping around here, but real quick. The religious community, okay, you guys that are trying to make abortion the center point, but yet y'all got so much going on within y'all churches, okay, and that won't lead me over to Puff Daddy, okay, because there's coming out that have been at puffy parties. All right. There are people in a puffy party, all right, that has come out of the church realm, okay, that have been engaged in activities that they were getting engaged in, okay, alleged at this point. All right. So my opinion, then we can roll and talk about Puffy in the situation. I think he's just using it as a catalyst to have these conversations about what has gone on behind the scenes.
He's down to entertainment. He's the entertainment right now.
So let me say this real quick. So the thing with these religious communities and saying what they've said and saying about sexual gender and all of that, it's mighty funny that all of this exposure is consistently coming out. Okay, it's coming out about your preachers, coming out and it's all of this stuff is rolled out. My thing for y'all, shut up. Shut up. If you believe in what you consider prayer, pray and shut up. All right. But it's more gonna come out, y'all. It's more. It's time for exposure. It's time for the realness about this stuff, and it's time for you to make assessments and understand things independently versus what somebody telling you. But anyway, let me stop. I keep going. Go ahead, Darnell.
Did you guys hear about here in our state, in California? This lady and her husband went into the hospital. She was pregnant. She was having complications with the baby. She had needed to have an emergency operation due to the baby. It was either one of the baby, her or the baby, and they turned her down. This woman, she nearly died.
I did hear about that.
That's here, and it's kind of sad to factor that the people are having to deal with this instead of the factor of the church folks, because it was a Catholic hospital. Saying the factor that, we can't do this because this isn't of God and blah, this, that, and other, and the third. This is a woman's life on the line.
Wow. I go ahead. I got points about that. Why don't you go ahead first? Charles, put Twyna's comment back up again for me real quick, if you don't mind. But go ahead, your point.
I mean, the point of that is sad, but that's this situation that's going. Now that Trump had opened up with them getting rid of Roe v. Wade. This was bound to happen. And one thing I wish people would go back and remind some of these people about when these judges were interviewed for their jobs, how much they lied about the fact that were they going to vote against Roe v. Wade, and they said no. And that right there lets you know how really pathetic that somebody, and I believe in term limits right now because term limits need to come. But see, I go back to the American people too about this situation because at the end of the day, how bad do you want these Supreme Court judges to go? They gotta go. Some of these Congress people gotta go because all they've been doing is sitting there and some senators too need to go. They ain't been doing nothing, and they've been lying. And we all have seen this time and time and time again. And you know what? As much as people would love to get up and say, well, what, Kamala ain't doing her job. No, it's bigger than Kamala. It's bigger than Kamala.
Right.
Y'all can't put one person over a whole system.
Right.
It's more than just that.
Right.
So at the end of the day, the situation with the woman, this situation was bound to happen.
Right.
It was bound to happen. That's why you need to get out there and vote, because at the end of the day, like Charles said in the beginning, politics do affect your life. It affects your health too, as well as your job, and wherever you go, it's going to affect you. Hey, y'all.
Well, the argument say the fact that he didn't have anything. He said he didn't. He said he wasn't the person who was trying to overturn Roe v. Wade.
Oh, please.
He didn't have anything to do with all of that.
Yeah, right.
That was part of one of his rallies that he stated.
Yeah.
It's a sad part of the contradiction. This is my quote, and it's the quote for 2018 on. Too many people are looking out the window pointing fingers when they don't look in the mirror.
Right. Absolutely.
You need to look in the damn mirror sometimes and look at what you're doing versus what you're talking about everybody else. Right. They put R. Kelly, P. Diddy, Young Thug, everybody else went straight to jail when they got in trouble. Why Trump ain't in jail?
Right.
Why he gets to walk around and do all this stuff? And he's been convicted and still ain't in jail.
And
I'm still trying to figure out how that works. Yeah, exactly. He never got a perp walk, nothing. They respect him because he's a white man, not because he's an ex-president. He's a white man who done something wrong, and nobody wants to convict him or put him under scrutiny. Why? Because I hate to say it this way, and I hate to say it, but white is right. Everything else don't matter. And this has been the way America has been for so long. And this is my point when it comes to all of this. If we're going to stick to the law, we stick to the law. Those judges committed perjury. They should be taken out of their seats right now. Yes. They committed perjury. Clarence Thomas broke the rules of ethics. He should be out of there right now. But we're not doing that. We're looking at everybody else. Menendez, he broke the rules, but where is he at? In court. Why are we not doing this for Clarence Thomas? Clarence Thomas broke the ruls by a mile, a long shot. Right. He out there like some little young hooker. He's got a sugar daddy. Taking him on trips, him and his wife, and buying things, bought his mama a house, all this kind of, and nobody's saying a word. It's like, it's okay because he's a Supreme Court justice. That's the swamp. When Trump said he wanted to empty the swamp, it's him and his boys. All of them need to be emptied out. It's not everybody else. It's them who are in the swamp. That needs to be changed up. And then Biden, this is what I have my faults with Biden. Biden knows that the court is lopsided. So instead of going there and adding in more or changing up, he let it ride. Right. This is Democrats, because Democrats always feel like we don't want to go against the system because the system works. But yet the Republicans go, put 5 more of them damn rednecks in there and we keep it moving. And then the Democrats go, well, I'm not going to argue because that's how you feel. This damn, what's the yuppie or hippie feel thing kills me.
A long game.
Huh?
Mm-hmm. In my industry, we call that to get along to play a long game.
Yep, it is. Yeah. It is.
So let me. I'm sorry. Let me throw this question out there and to all the points that have been made. So, what can we do? And I invite your audience, please, to give us a comment about this. What can we do as a society to shift this problem? What can we do? Where do we need to stand to shift this problem? Where do we need to stand to get rid of people in Congress? We say vote them out, but half the time people don't even know who's in Congress because they secretly stay in there. And next thing you know, they're still in there and they keep perpetuating the lobbyists push to keep them in there. I mean, because they get paid 3 times the amount of money to be in that office. So what can America do as whole to change this? Because if we're going to keep, on these both sides of the spectrum, point. This is a conversation I had a little while ago. What do we need to do?
Stop celebrity dick riding and learn about these politicians.
As Obama say, don't boo, vote. Damn it, vote. Stop sitting around going, it ain't going to happen unless, y'all need to do. Vote. If you don't vote, you have no say.
Get off these people's lap. I'm tired of hearing about people who are not doing anything for humanity. Why are you not more invested? And see, who was it that he went to the DNC because he was talking. They had him on the news. Now, who was the guy that played Kimberly Elise's husband and for colored girls, the one that dropped the kids out the window? What was his name? The guy. What was his name?
Oh, Michael Ealy.
Michael Ealy. He went to the DNC in Chicago, and he never taught politics. It took him to go to the DNC rally to come home and talk politics to his son. Now his son is now so involved in politics. See, the thing about it is nobody likes to bring it up at the dinner table when it is so important about what is happening in our local, state, and federal situations. And I hate to say this though, to be honest with you, that's where things won't change because, like, I keep going back. We want to be on Jay-Z and Beyonce's laps all the time instead of, hey, they rich, they got the money, they got the assets. We need to survive out here. Some of us are complaining about the price of a bag of chips.
But within our community, you sit at the table and talk about politics. That's just like that's kind of taboo. That's just like sitting at the table and talking about my uncle touched me or my father touched me.
Wow, that's good. That's good.
So if they're not gonna do that, what makes you think they're gonna turn around and sit back and talk about politics at the table?
There you go.
You're the stupid under the rug.
And that's why our houses are not cleaned. They're not. I'm so sorry. But what did that woman say in that movie? This house is clear. There ain't no houses are clear.
Let me quote my mama, Miss Alma. Miss Alma said, "Your room is a reflection of your life. If it's a mess, you a mess." Yes, and then my mom, and this is what I praise my parents and my family for, even though my family had their issues. They, alcoholism, crackhead, financial issues. But one thing we did was we sat down and we watched fucking elections and politics together as a group. We sat down and we watched that stuff, and I listened to the older people, my uncles and aunts and my grandma and them. They talked and I listened. And this is why I'm so vocal right now, because they took the time to discuss the issues amongst each other so that I, as a child, could hear and understand. We don't do that anymore. And I feel such a disappointment because I can't say because I did my kids. On King Holiday, before it's a holiday, my kids would go, we got to listen to the speech again. Yeah, we do. And we're going to discuss it. Because I would sit down with them in a Black History Month. We're going to talk over Black history. They said, again, we did it last year. We're going to do it every year until your ass get in your head that these are things that you should know. But people now, and a lot of my generation go, well, I get tired. I'm not going to do it then what my parents done to me. My parents, they bothered me. They beat me in the head with that stuff. And I ain't like it. Well, that's why your kids don't do shit but sit around and want to do Beyonce. Because they're so lost in I don't want to say turned out, but they're lost and turned out. Yeah. They don't understand what it is to be a representative or productive part of society, because all they know how to do is shake their ass, try to find somebody, bring some money in, and as they say, floss. I got to have the nicest car. Rich people don't wear no jewelry. They don't buy no expensive cars. They be riding around because they can't buy anything they want, but they don't spend their money on that shit. They
call that new money. Old money don't do that stuff. It's new money, the new money that go broke in a few years. They wear that stuff. But it goes back to they shaking their behinds and they find themselves at a Puff Daddy party, and then all of a sudden, all hell breaks loose. If you knew who you were before you went to a Puff Daddy party, if you had the conversation about who the stock that you... Maya Angelou said this. She said, you need to know the shoulders that you stand on. If you knew those things, you wouldn't be at no Puff Daddy party doing whatever you're doing, and all of a sudden you drunk and going crazy, and next thing you know, you've been touched. That is the reason why these people are out here doing what they're doing and getting away with murder, because nobody is airing. And like you said, go back to what Darnell said, it's like nobody wants to talk about the uncle that touched people. Nobody wants to talk about the uncle and the auntie too, because their aunties who are touching children, because nobody wants to hear the truth. There is stuff going on in our situation, traumas that needs to be taught, and politics is that trauma too.
I wanted to say, go ahead, Darren.
I say this when it comes down to, especially with the fact of them parties, I tell people this: every mother trucker that goes to that party, they know what they went to that party for. They went to the party because of the fact that they were looking for exactly what the next man was looking for, that come up. If somebody tells you they're going to do Y and Z, or whatever the case may be, and gonna make sure that you're okay, and therefore it's gonna put you in position to take care of your family and to do this and do that and open the doors for you, you going to that party as well. So I tell people, cut the bullshit with the talking, trying to act like you just holier than thou. Somebody finna give you $50 million and say that therefore, hey, you come to this party. you're gonna take them 50 million and then you're gonna tuck your tail later on.
Right.
That's just how it goes. Now everybody want to turn around because they feel like, oh, I'm gonna be exposed, and I don't want my truth to come out. So now I got to make up and conjure up this story and say, well, I went to his party and he did X, Y, and Z to me. You knew what was going on. You knew what was going to come with this party. So why the hell you sit back trying to tell a story now?
Right. Well,
you should have told the story then.
You just talked about the truth behind the truth. You know, I mean, at the end of the day, I wanted to just say real quick before we go to break, but Charles, you made a very, very valid point. When our collective generation, you know, I did hear my parents talk about, you know, things like that, and I sat back and listened and gained the knowledge, a lot of that knowledge that I have today. You know, came from that. My dear cousin that's on, you know, watching the show tonight. She know. I mean, like her mama and my mama and our other aunties, they sat around and had conversations, and they built a self-esteem value in us, typically as people of color. You know, I mean, that's what, you know, I mean, you know how influence was and what have you. So, and I take pride in that. Now, I take pride in the way that I'm able to draw other people in to the understanding of where I got my knowledge from. You know, I don't use it as an attack source, you know, to another community, but I know who I am and whose shoulders I do stand on. You know, I mean, the story about my grandfather, this may I tell you another day, but it's amazing what he did in this country. You know, at the end of the day, are we as his descendants getting the benefit? Absolutely not. Okay, I'm seriously. I'll say it again. Absolutely not. We are not getting the benefits from my grandfather. Okay, and it's too much to tell y'all on this. Maybe in the future show I can get into that. But anyway, I know we got a break. We'll go right to the break and come back with some more. We'll be right back.
Call 844-55-STARZ. It's Junk Stars, baby.
Hey, my name is Thurston, and here I have my CEO, son Langston. We specialize in junk removal, dumpster rental, and demolition. So if you need junk removed,
call Junk Stars.
You need dumpster rentals,
call Junk Stars.
All right, and we are back, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in to The Truth Behind the Truth tonight. Yes. We are unveiling the truth behind the truth, which we're here to do each and every week that we're talking about. So
let's go back to Puff Daddy, because I want to discuss this too, because you know what, this is part of the situation that's happening too. And you know, we talk about politics too, but let me just say this: in whatever industry that you are working in, I'm going to go back and say that you need to know who you are and stand firm in your values and beliefs, because people will do and say any old thing. But going back to Puff Daddy, I am really like, wow. Why is it that you have some celebrities that don't understand to stay out of people's situations when it is as funky as this? This situation where this allegation of sexual misconduct and drugging, why do you still have people still trying to protect this man? And when I'm talking about certain people like certain singers and certain actors who still want to believe that, you know, this stuff it never happened to me, or, you know, but no, like, who was it? Charles, I think you said, Darnell knew that it happened and knew why they were at those parties. Why do you think these people are still trying to protect this man?
The reason being is this. It's just so me and Johnson, we've been blessed to be able to be around a lot of wealthy people. And with a lot of wealthy people, when they make decisions, and when they make those decisions, you have to know that therefore those aren't right now decisions. They're right now, later on, and later on decisions. They're one decision. So when you make this one decision that you made, and yes, you came up off this one decision. So a lot of them is sitting back and knowing that this one decision, if I do turn around and I screw up in between this later on decision or wherever that's gonna come, it's gonna be a whole lot of later on repercussions, not only for myself, but for my family and everything and everybody around.
Okay. Okay.
Mm.
What's really makes that in time? You said this a long time ago, because you know all of these newfangled, I'm gonna say newfangled is an old word, but these other hip hop artists that come out. You mentioned that a long time ago. You know, it's just like we'll give you $300,000, you throw it up in the air and make it look like you got all this money. You know, at the end of the day, but we take, you know, and then you settle for anything that we throw at you. You know, because now you're able to keep the lights on in the house. You know, where
So
you could be.
let's just take this a little bit further. When we were saying, let's say celebrities. Prime example, the greatest singer of all time to me, Whitney Houston.
Okay.
Her being as great as she was at the time, her turning around and you taking on this proposition where he get what was given to her. It was given to you. You didn't want to do what you wanted, what they tell you to do, so you had to go. Then you thought that therefore, that's I say, everything has repercussions in this when it come down to this big money.
Right.
Now, your daughter had to go.
Is this?
Wow.
I see where you're going with
Then, that's why I tell you, who gonna open their mouth when you turn around and you got a lot of stuff on the line? And then we ain't talking about on the line like houses and cars and all this other type carrying on, or wherever the case may be. Because this is the thing, it's a money game. Because when she was alive, she had 20 million. That 20 million was given to her. That wasn't $20 million because she was flat broke. You had 20 million. The 20 million went over to your daughter. Your daughter turned around and had 20 million now. 20 million had to go back to who it belonged to. Now she's gone, the daughter's gone. Sissy wasn't gonna get no portion of it anyway, because they was gonna make sure of that. Or wherever the case may be, now it's back in the hands of the handler. Because everybody have a handler.
Okay.
That's it, that's all.
Okay. And agree with like taking a moment to recognize Sissy Houston, of course, her transition this week. Going on to the other side and what she contributed to the industry for such a long period of time.
Oh yeah,
mostly on the background side of singing, but some of your most iconic songs, you heard her voice in the background. You know, I mean, she did. I mean, a great deal starting out.
Walk on by and all that, and then respect and all that. Yeah,
and all those other songs and whatever the case may be. Yeah. So, and then also about her, I guess it wasn't timely. The death is never untimely, but she had been battling Alzheimer's for a period of time, and that's what she transitioned from. So it wasn't, just an alleged. All this other type of stuff that, people live from. But anyway, but back to your point, I mean, there's a lot of that going on, Darnell. I mean, and I think in today's days coming, we're going to find out a lot more. I mean, there's a lot more exposure that's going to be happening on that in the industry, as well as I have to go back to the Christian arena. Okay. Because it is, I was talking to one of my best girlfriends, like my, play sister, and she had asked the question the other day, and I was talking to her on the way to work. She said, "So, do you really think that with this certain bishop, I won't mention the name because I have to stay in the legend world. I'll let Larry Reed, bring out names."
Sound like TD Jakes.
Oh, okay.
I can't with you. I can't.
Okay, since you put the cat out the bag, okay, and she was saying, "Do you really think that he is going to go down?" I said, "Absolutely, yes."
Yeah.
And for one part of it, that I felt good because Bishop Pearson, 2 years ago, he stated, before his untimely transition, that there was going to be a great falling in the church community. Okay, prophetically, if you believe in that arena, a word coming from the stars, however you want to see it, but the man said it. Okay, at the end of the day, and everything that man said is coming to pass. Okay, even down to the fact Donald Trump will not win. All right. So everything that he said is coming to pass. All right.
Well, let me play devil's advocate because
but
as I was raised in the church. I believe in a higher power, but I'm as most Christians go. When I say I'm spiritual, that ain't religious. No, I'm not religious. I'm not religious. And the reason being because religion is a cult. That's why the Republicans are like they are.
Yes,
this is the thing that bothers me the most. Instead of being sheep, why don't we be leaders? Why can't we stand in our own lives? Why can't we stand up for what we believe in?
Sure.
There's no problem with you believing something different from me,
Right.
but that's the true essence of democracy. We can take what we both believe and make it something that works for everyone. At least that's my understanding of it. And too many of us spend our times going, "You ain't right. You can't do this. You can't." We don't have any laws against men doing anything. What can we control on the man? As my future ex-wife Jasmine Crockett says, what laws do we have that go against men? None. None dictates to how a man can do his body. He do whatever he want to do. So what makes us think we have the right to tell a woman what to do with hers?
Right. Well, there's a quick point, Charles, to what you just said. You know, that you said democracy, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So what happens is that when you have that community that you just mentioned about, they wanted to become a theocracy. So therefore, they bring theological situations that have nothing to do, period. Okay, with the existence of mankind.
And autocracy. They want to be authoritarians. They want to be autocracy, theocracy, which is where dictators, authoritarians, absolute rulers, kings, monarchs, you name it. Anything that means you can't tell me what to do, I'm in control.
Right. And it all has a right-wing base to it. That's the thing nobody likes to talk about. Most of all of that you have named come from a right-wing standpoint. Okay,
conservative point. Yep.
Right. So, hey, hold one second, Donald. Let me just say this. So everything you just said, okay, and then you beautifully went through the factor of religion and all that, whatever. Everything you have said has all been king based. You understand what I'm saying? So it's been king based. So everything that the church community or religious community or that community comes up is always king based. Okay? You check your scriptures. Always king this, king did this, king did this, king said this, king down to Miss King James. All right, go ahead.
So you were saying a little bit ago, saying to think that he's going to go down. I don't think that he's actually going to go down. I think the factor that what's going to happen, he's just done what he's supposed to do. If you notice, if you watch the prayer, watch the pattern, I must say, is that he turned around and he put Sarah Jakes in position.
Right.
She's now the face. She's now the head. But what she's smart about is this. She stayed over here in California. She didn't want to go down to Texas. She said she was not going to take Texas. She stay here in California.
Gotcha.
She's trying to keep herself farther away from it as she can.
Right.
I'll be the face. I'll handle the ministry, but I'm trying to stay as far away from what you got going on as I can.
Right.
Because me and my husband, I done had enough problems in my life, and life is all right now.
Okay.
So that's what she's doing.
Right.
If you notice the fact that you see him, and he'll fall off the face of the earth for a while, let things die down, and then he'll pop up every now and again. What he's doing, he's just trying to fade his way out. So that way, it's like let me just try to take the heat off him for a little bit, wait till everything die down, and then I'll come back into the forefront. But not as I was, because now you all know that Sarah is the face. She's the head of everything. I'm just gonna, be in the background. I'm still gonna be pulling the strings.
Right. But I'm not gonna be the face.
I'm just not gonna be the face. So that means that therefore, if in fact you want to have anything to say, or whatever the case would be, I'm not in the forefront.
Right.
I can deal with it quietly behind closed doors.
Right.
But that's not even a problem, because think about it this way. And as I just said, I'm not a church person. I don't believe in a lot of that stuff that goes on within the religious right. But there's not a problem with you being a leader and trying to gather the sheep, so to speak. But the problem comes in when you preach what you don't walk. You got to walk it like you talk it.
Yeah.
That's the key
Yeah.
to it
That's
all.
95%. But go ahead.
Or not being honest when you need to be honest. Like, I'm so tired of people in the pulpit saying, well, y'all don't need to be this way. If you would put yourself in the equation and say, listen, I am still a work in progress,
Right.
I would want to listen to you and understand where you're coming from.
Show
But
me your
until you-
faults.
Thank you. Hey, but you want to play God complex, and that's where I just
I
can't
love
stand
that.
with
That's
you
my
on
problem.
that. I don't like that. I don't
Do
like
as I say, do, not as I do.
Right.
Thank you. And that's where TD Jakes is. That's where him and some other people are going to fall,
Right.
because for years they've been playing this political God complex scenario, and then they've been getting money from the evangelicals.
Right.
See, that's not, and that is a right-wing based Christian group
Right.
that is putting billions of dollars behind Trump now. Billions of dollars behind Trump.
Because it pushes
If
their
Trump,
agenda.
if Trump gets in, and this is where I go back
What
to
you
people.
want? Go ahead.
This is where I go back to telling people it's not about Trump alone, and it is not about Kamala alone.
Right.
People who put money behind you and who invest in what you're trying to do, they're going to have to say over what you are doing. You won't have nothing to say. So if Trump gets in as president, it's not going to be Trump. It's going to be those evangelicals. It's going to be David Duke.
Right.
It's going to be all of those right-wing men correspondents who have put money to keep women in their place. Trump ain't got to do nothing but just be Trump.
Right.
See, that's
Well,
the
speaking of
problem that the
women,
American people don't understand. Hitler had henchmen. He had Goebbels. He had Goebbels and Himmler. These people, they ran those concentration camps. Hitler didn't
Yeah.
care nothing about those concentration camps. He didn't even know anything about them. Well, he did know, and he didn't know what was
Yeah.
going on. But he didn't care because he had
He-
people running that shit.
He wasn't
Trump
hands-on.
has people running his shit too.
That's
So
right.
let's just,
That's
let's
right.
just be
Go
honest
ahead,
about the
say that.
situation.
You know, think about it. He had people that running this shit. Is what one of his runners from the election interference. She just turned around and got her ass handed to her, Miss Tina
Uh-huh.
Peters. She
Uh-huh.
turned around and but that judge was not. When I tell you, he was just, that man was not his delivery. He should have had his own TV show. Where his deliverance, when he delivered her sentence, it was just like he just broke it down to her. Just what he said. Listen, I don't think that you are a threat to society. I don't think that therefore she was asked for probation. He was like, probation is for people who are trying to be rehabilitated or whatever the case may be.
Wow.
She's like, you knew what you were doing. You knew exactly what you were doing, and I feel as if you were out, you would do it again.
Right. Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah.
No,
And he
no.
didn't. When they asked him about this woman, he turned around and said he didn't give a damn about it.
Wow. Wow. Well, that's a clear indication right there. We will pick this up in just a minute. This is good, guys. This is really good. Really, really good. All right. We'll be right back after this quick break.
If you need a pickup, call Junk Stars. Yeah. If you need a dumpster or demolition, call Junk Stars. Yeah. Call 844-55-STARZ. Junk Stars. It's Junk Stars, baby.
Hey, my name is Thurston, and here I have my CEO, son Langston. We specialize in junk removal, dumpster rental, and demolition. So if you need junk removed,
Call Junk Stars.
you need dumpster rentals,
Call Junk
There's a magnetic force that is pulling me down. Yeah, I'm trying to balance me out. My feet can't touch the ground. Yeah, I'm flying. Yeah, I'm
All right, and we are back, guys. Thank you so much for tuning into the Truth Behind the Truth tonight. Please share your comments. All right, I know we've been talking about quite a few different things, but in the scope of what's going on around us and in our country at this particular point in time, do want to remind you to support us. Hey, you get that mug, get that mug. We'll have them up for you next week so you can remember what they look like. But it was a commercial in the beginning that mentioned the mug. All right, so please support us with that. You can get a free mug. All right, by 5 likes and 5 shares on your particular platform that you watch the show on. All right, send those into our to our email address, ttbttshow@gmail. contribution support. You can do that as well. TTB Show. Let us know how to connect with you. But we do have two links that are out there on Venmo as well as sorry, forgive me, Cash App. Sorry about that. Drawing a mic with that. But anyway, so in our last few minutes of tonight, throwing it out there, and hopefully you guys will chime in either on my page or either, you can put it if you're on the Truth Behind the Truth authentic side. Put your comment in, okay? Let us know how you feel about what's going on, okay? Let us know what you feel that needs to be talked about, or you want to hear a collective opinion about. We may be able to get into it tonight. We may not, but we'll address it on next week's show if we can't, get it. But anyway, you had a point you want to bring up at this point?
You know what? I want to say this though. Chris Matthews, who used to, I don't know if he still have his show on MSNBC, but I remember when Obama was president, and he used to complain every night about the fact that Obama never went to cocktail after hours with other politicians, and he used to complain and say, Michelle and the family would want him back at a certain time, which was 6 o'clock in the evening at the dinner table. The big thing that was in Washington. And I think about this now, that everything is going on right now. The fact is that even then they were complaining about this man being at home, but you see what he doesn't have to deal with, that everybody else is having to deal with right now, is the fact that that woman, if it was Michelle's idea for him to have did that, hey, Michelle, you saved your man from a lot of mess. Because to be honest with you, that white man at MS, and I hate to put race out there, but he was putting it out there that Obama should have been at those after-hour cocktail parties making deals with those Republicans. That is the situation that, and I'm just saying, you need to understand what's at stake when you are making deals or doing stupid stuff out. You need to understand the shoulders that you stand on. And Obama and Michelle had their heads in the right place. But you know what, Puff Daddy, and all of these people who are out here playing stupidity, you're going to understand that there's a rude awakening to playing in stupidity. Because I hate to say it, as Black men working in these United States, you better have some discipline, because to be honest with you, they're always looking for ways to get the rug up underneath us. And I hate to say it, Puffy had the greatest opportunity. He had a great platform, and other people. I'm just saying, you need to understand who you represent and stay disciplined. I hate to say it, Farrakhan. I hate to say this, Farrakhan is the most disciplined out of all of them.
But
Yes,
Charles,
he is. Yes, he is.
If I sit back and I look at the factor of everything with Puff Daddy, and I'm gonna play a whole nother card with this whole thing.
Go ahead.
I tell you this, and I number one, it's a lot of pieces to this puzzle that is missing. Okay. I don't think the factor that everything is as great as what they're trying to paint it to be. I think that therefore a lot of this is just a factor of it's the distraction of the people, because it's something greater and bigger that they're doing. And you're gonna look up in the storm when the smoke clear, when we get past November and all this other humbug bullshit, it'll be a whole nother narrative spin, or whatever the case may be. This is something for the people. They're trying, and also it's the factor of they're doing you got so much other crazy shit going on out here in the world, or whatever the case may be. But they trying to make you focus and horn in on the fact of trying some him and having some fucking GSB and some goddamn baby oil.
Right. Okay. Right.
It's not. They're just painting us. They're just setting a stage for something bigger. That's all they do.
Absolutely.
That's all they're doing. And he gonna listen. This man, he gonna wiggle out this motherfucker. I'm not surprised this motherfucker ain't somewhere sitting in protected custody somewhere.
He probably is. I mean, you said a lot there. I mean, it does become the talk of the past 2 weeks, or the distraction.
It is a distraction.
It's a complete distraction because, I had to kind of refer back to Larry Reed. I wish he got it, because I mentioned on the True Bound True much as I talk about his show on our show. I mean, Larry. All right. Anyway, But he did say have a show. I think it was probably about 2-3 weeks ago, and he was mentioning about the earlier stages of what happened with this Puff Daddy situation. But he came back into, and most of his allegiance of people typically are in the church community. But one thing I give him credit for is that he has open dialogue in the church community and making them really pay pause to that. Y'all ain't perfect, okay? and y'all need to move away from thinking that you don't think about a lot of things that you want to persecute other people for, and you're doing the same shit. Okay, bottom line. But one of the things that he brought out is that he said, I'm not defending what happened, during the course of all of these things with people. But he said, why? And he goes, of course, he said, why are y'all persecuting him for his sexual proclivities? This is something that this man enjoyed in his world, and you're making his world seem like there was something horrendous about what he enjoyed in his world. But he said, a lot of y'all enjoy more than that. We just don't know about it.
Yeah, that's true.
Okay. And he's talking to church folk. He's talking about the theologists. You know what I'm saying? He's talking about pastoral conversations and all of these other type of things. So I said,
what do you think convocation is?
Complication.
Yeah.
Complication for convocation. Okay, to keep hidden stuff. Oh, but we ain't gonna get into that one tonight. We know what complication.
Go ahead, Charles.
But anyway, that's going to come up next month too. Complication. Anyway, but all right,
Charles.
But,
Look at Charles. Charles, you ain't got nothing.
Well, I'm gonna close out with this.
Okay.
Until we learn that it takes all of us to survive here, and that none of us are exempt from what it takes to live,
absolutely,
we will never survive or even progress.
Absolutely.
We are all here together. We all need to work together in order to stay here.
Absolutely. It's about our togetherness. I cannot say any more than second that. Okay. Yeah. And that was the conversation I had earlier today. If we don't do it together, we're not going to survive. Yeah. Them Republicans, straight, gay, in between, trans,
supporting Johnson and Johnson.
You know what?
I need my baby oil.
Nothing wrong in supporting Johnson and Johnson because everybody needs some Johnson and Johnson in their life.
That's it.
Well, they got that new spokesperson right now. You can see him on the bottom next year.
That's right. Take that.
Anyway, guys, thank you so much for tuning into The Truth Behind the Truth tonight. I'm glad we left it on a light note for you guys. We want you to have a serious part of understanding what's going on, but at the end of the day, you got to find yourself in the conversation and not on the outside, because if you find yourself on the inside, then you start coming up with solutions. Okay, solutions for your home, your individual life, and your community, and we can see the change of the unity that Charles just spoke about to happen in our society. All right, we love y'all so much. Thank you so much for tuning into The Truth Behind the Truth. We will be right back here next week. I think we have a guest next week. Yes, so you keep your eye there. I'll let you know who it is. But it's actually actor, writer, producer Brad Candy. He will be with us next week talking about all of the wonderful things that he's doing on right there in the local city of Atlanta. All right, y'all have a beautiful night. Thank you.
Until then, we wish you love, peace, and soul.
Have a great night. Thank you for tuning in to The Truth Behind the Truth. Good night, all.
Good night, guys.